to my channel, or welcome back. And in today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be doing a book haul because I went to a book sale earlier today. So I'm so excited to bring you this type of new content. Like, I'm so happy because I got a whole bunch of books. Granted, I wasn't there for that long. I literally was only there for 20 minutes. So I had to hurry up and just pick up what I could get just because I did get there late. But I did get a whole bunch of books because they were doing a huge sale at the local library by where I live, and all hardback books were $2 and then soft books were $1. So I was really excited to pick up a whole bunch of books. Not only did I get some books for myself, but I did get some books for my nephews as well as my niece, because baby, we want to promote readers over here. We want strong minds, strong hearts, strong bodies, strong souls, okay? Like, period. Like, and in order to keep the mind strong, yeah, you gotta read. So with that being said, we're gonna get into the books that I got today. Let's go. So the first book that I got here today is this cute little book, and it's called Star Friends, and it's about this little girl and she meets these magical animals in the forest. And I'm really excited. Like, I got this for when my niece gets a little bit bigger so she can have some like girly adventure books to read. Even though my niece is only 2, you know, it's never too late or too early necessarily to get her started on some reading, just because, like I said, we need a strong mind, okay? So I'm excited for her to finally be able to read this book. The next book we got is called Sweet Little Lies, and I'm super excited to read this book. I'm actually gonna start reading this book first out of all the books that I personally got for myself. This book is actually written by Lauren Conrad. You may know her from Laguna Beach, like, period. She is a reality TV show icon, okay? And long story short, this book is about these 2 girls that work on this reality TV show, and long story short, so much to come out about them. One of them gets some news leaked, okay? Another one is messing with a man that she's not supposed to be. My theory is that he may be a married man. So I don't know. That's why I'm excited to read this book, because it is very messy, okay? Like, just by the description, I was like, I'm ready to read this book. This is going to be a good one. And it's on Audible, so I said I'm going to like listen as I read along. And I don't know if y'all can hear the rain right now, but this is the perfect time to start reading this book. So I'm going to crack it open after this video. So like, I'm super excited to read this one. Like, so excited. The third book we will be talking about is called The Messenger, and this book is like a mystery type of book. So basically, it's about this guy, and he's an underage cab driver, and long story short, he get mixed up in some business. He ends up stopping a bank robbery unintentionally and get caught up. And long story short, he has to start running around town doing these jobs. But who is he doing these jobs for? We don't know. And he gonna tell us the tea in his book, okay? This is another book that I'm excited to read because I love a good mystery book. Like, love a good mystery, okay? So I'm ready to dig my hands into this book. So the fourth book we'll be talking about is called Death at Sea, and again, this is another mystery book. So this book is based off like this investigator in the 80s, and they're in Italy and they're trying to figure out 8 different cases, and it has to deal with like assassinations, different stuff like that, and it's so much like juiciness. And like, literally, it says that all on the back of the book. Like, literally gives you a little sip of the tea just on the back alone, okay? So this is another book that I'm ready to read. I don't know which one I'm gonna start first, if it's this one or the Messenger book. Whichever one is a smaller book, honestly, because it'll just be easier to like speed through it. Like, that's my theory, versus reading the bigger book first. So yeah, I'm excited to read this book when I get around to it. So the 5th book I picked up is a little controversial because a movie about it just came out like a few months ago, and it ends with us. And the reason I picked this book up is first because when I read the title, I kept thinking, that sounds familiar. Like, that sounds like a movie that just came out. Like, I'm pretty sure a movie just came out by that name. And I was just like, you know, I recognize Colleen Hoover's name, and I know that she made that book. And when I looked it up on Google, this was that book. And I was like, that's tea for me, okay? And I'm actually excited to read it, even though I'm not necessarily excited about the topic, because it is very disheartening for those who don't know. But long story short, the reason that I am excited to read it though is because I have not seen the movie, so it'll be perfect for me because I can read the book and then watch the movie just to see, you know, how it plays out. For the most part, anybody with some common sense know that the books are always a lot better than the movies, just because the books go into a lot more detail. And so of course I'm not expecting the movie to be amazing, but like I was telling my best friend earlier, it's rare that I read books that exactly mirror like the movie. Like the only book that I can think of off rip that perfectly mirrors its like book to movie is The Great Gatsby, and I absolutely love that movie. Like exactly how it happens in the movie is exactly how it is in the book, and so I really love that. I had to read that book in high school, and so I'm curious to see if it's the same with this. So next I have these books, and I got these for my niece just because she is 2 years old. She'll be 3 in December, and long story short, I felt like this would be perfect for her because these are little picture books teaching her like how to be kind and stuff and how to share. And I just really like that because this is like that fundamental age to really, you know, teach these things so children can understand it now versus later, just because it's harder to try to like change somebody or really teach them something if they're already stuck in their ways, versus if you kind of start from young and you kind of have a certain like system built, it'll be a lot easier to, you know, navigate raising that child. Of course, raising children isn't easy, and it's not like a textbook way to do it because every child is different. But I feel like, you know, there is certain things that you can do to try to take the proper steps in order to, you know, properly raise a child as well as educate them. So I'm excited for my niece to, you know, get into these books. I will be reading them to her because I want to help her like learn how to like actually talk more, and I feel like me reading these books to her and like trying to read along as she sits with me, I feel like it'll be very easy to do that and like try to get her to talk more, because my niece is very independent, okay? Like she's a fire sign, she want to do everything herself. So I feel like once she sees us doing it and reading to her and stuff like that, I know that she's gonna want to try to do it on her own, because she's like, girl, I'm a big boss, I got it. So yes, I'm super excited for her to try to finally start reading and expand her vocabulary. Like it's just exciting for me. So these last few books I actually got for my nephews. I do have 3 nephews, and it's by one sister, so I was like, you know what, they're gonna share all of these books. I did get 3 of them, okay? So the first one is this Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys, and it's like cute on the inside of the book, okay? Like this is what it's giving. Like they have like real pictures of people as well as like illustrations, and it's an actual story, like it's some type of mystery. And I was like, you know what, like this is cute, like I like this. And as somebody who loved some Dick and Jane as well as some Nancy Drew growing up, I was like, you know what, let me get something that I love from my childhood and pass it on to my nephews, especially because they're a lot bigger than my niece. So I feel like, you know, they'll be a little more interested in it, especially because it has the big pictures, of course. So they'll be more intrigued, like, what is on this page and this and that and the third. So yeah, I'm excited for them to read this book. Like, I'm too excited. I love a good mystery, and it's never too early to start a kid on some mysteries, okay? Like, love me some mysteries. Shout out to House of Anubis, got me into the mysteries, okay? Next book that I got for them is a fossils book, and I got this for them because I was telling my best friend earlier that growing up, my parents did not play that during the summertime, okay? Like I had to do workbooks during the summertime, even sometimes during the holiday breaks if I did not have homework, okay? And so my parents would often make me read books about the human body and whatnot, and even though I didn't really find that interesting, I still remember some of the stuff, and you know, I'm intrigued to a certain extent. But I was like, let me get them something that I feel like is educational but is actually like really cool, because I would rather learn about fossils than learn about the human body, okay? Like it's educational to know about like what's inside of you, and like, you know, how we all grow as people and stuff, and you know what makes us us. But at the same time, that ain't for me. That ain't my calling, pastor, okay? like this is a lot more interesting. So I was like, let me get something that I feel like they would actually read. And you know, this is another one of those that it has like the pictures and it gives like education on it, and I really like that. Like, I was really telling my best friend, like, I actually am glad that I found this book and I'm so excited to give it to them. So the very last book that I actually got for them is this weather book, and the reason I had got this for them is because the weather is something that, you know, we really don't talk about too much. Like, you learn about it in science class when you talk about the different types of clouds and stuff, and you know, the ecosystems, but like they don't really go into depth about certain things. And with global warming, I feel like this is a great way to learn about like weather and how it could affect your environment, because you know, depending on where you live will determine on what type of natural disasters happen. Like, for example, in Georgia we experience a lot of tornadoes, but like in California, you know, they experience a lot of earthquakes, and then like in Japan they experience a lot of tsunamis. So it just kind of depends on, you know, where you are in the world. And I think that's really cool, and weather often plays a huge part in how the world is shaped, because you know, Pangea, literally, we was one and then we separated because of the weather. Like, the weather literally shifted so much throughout history. For more content like this, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye.